Okay, so let me ask you, how many of you have actually had guitar lessons before? Or how many of you have bought a guitar and you thought, well, maybe I just learn it on my own? And out of those, how many of you said, nah, this is not for me? And you hung it up, or you sold it, or you gave it to a friend, or it's just sitting in the closet collecting dust. That's happened to a lot of people. Picking up a lot of different instruments can be difficult, especially later in life when things get busy and you don't have as much time on your hands. But then there comes a point sometimes in life where you're old enough that you are ready to do some things that you have the time to do. So at Brewer's Guitar Instruction, I have all of those types of students. I have the brand new ones from the kids. It's the first time they've ever held the instrument, all the way up to folks that are retired and they're excited about picking it back up and doing something that they've always wanted to do again. So if you fall in any of those categories, I want to talk with you. So I'm going to walk you through what it's like to take lessons at Brewer's Guitar Instruction. I'm in Ooltewah, Tennessee, off of Ooltewah Georgetown Road, and I'm going to show you the studio and talk with you a little bit about the beginner guitar lessons, intermediate, and advanced. I work with musicians that are professional musicians who are ready to take their craft to the next level. Even the professionals sometimes have holes in their theory and need a little bit of a tune-up job so that they can take things to the next level. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But anyway, hang with me. We're going to talk through this thing, and I hope that when you're done watching this video, you're going to go grab a guitar and you're going to call me, text me, message me, put a bat signal in the sky, something, and I'm going to get in touch with you and we're going to have a little face-to-face chat so that we can get you playing the guitar and having some fun with it. Now, if you're coming from Ooltewah Ringgold Road, you know that's going to turn into Ooltewah Georgetown Road. You take a right at that little split there, and that would take you up to the studio. Now, if you're coming from the interstate, from down around Hamilton Place, you would come up to the main Ooltewah exit and get off the ramp, and you're going to go left like you're going to go to Ooltewah High School. Turn there, you're going to pass the high school and travel down Ooltewah Georgetown Road. So depending on which area you're coming from. Now, if you're coming from Cleveland, you can either come the back way all the way up through Mahan Gap intersection, or you could take that Ooltewah exit and come around that way. So just to be clear on the directions, Mountain View Road turns into Ooltewah Georgetown Road, and you're going to pass Savannah Bay Baptist Church right there, and then you're going to be coming up right here on your left hand side, and this is where the studio is located. There's a little sign right there to your left that says Guitar Lessons, and you're going to turn right here at American Air. Okay, so when you walk into the studio, this is the kind of professional environment that you're going to walk into. Take a look around the room here. You're going to see some different things. You're going to see some different students, all ages. Sometimes two students at once. We have husband-wife teams. We have mother-son. We have some students over here, father-son. It's been coming to me for a long time, and all ages, as you can see. But this is the professional environment that you're going to come to at Brewer's Guitar Instruction. We have a nice little waiting area. if you have someone with you, and they're definitely welcome to hang out while the guitar lesson is going on, as long as there's no distractions and the student is okay with it. And then as you walk over here, you can see the actual lesson area. This is where the magic happens, folks. If you're a beginner, this is where you're starting right here. The progressive guitar method, okay? Whether it's acoustic guitar or electric guitar, this is where you're going to start out. Learning how to read notes, music notation, learning a little bit more about your fretboard, okay? But you'll progress into other things as well, learning songs, all of that kind of good stuff, okay? This is a studio environment, so we use recording to our advantage and for certain educational tools. Also, I want you to meet this guy right here. This is Mitchell Goodpasture, okay? Mitchell is teaching with us on the weekends. He is a wonderful guitar instructor and just a absolute fabulous musician. Tears that guitar up. I love listening to Mitchell play. There's a few more of our students that are currently with us. We run anywhere from 25 to 35 students, depending on what time of year it is. But this is our environment, and it's a very cozy, private environment. On the sign, you saw it say by appointment only, and we want to make sure that this environment is kept pristine for the student that's coming to take lessons here. So let me give you a little bit of background about my history in music. When I was growing up, my dad was a guitar player, and so I can remember a lot of Saturday afternoons and different times where he would pull out the old records, Chet Atkins, Jerry Reed, Elvis, lots of different styles of music, and he would jam along with these things, and I'd grab an old guitar and see what I could do. Well, finally came the time I was old enough for guitar lessons, and at about 12 years old, my mom and dad got me some guitar lessons at a little music store in Pascagoula, Mississippi. So that's when I got started. No formal education up to then. I only took guitar lessons for 1 year. Okay, the guy that was teaching me took me through a couple of books, and that was about as far as he could go. And I learned how to read music a little bit. But through school, I had an opportunity to learn a little bit more. The program I was involved with, it was 9th grade through 12th grade, and it was a jazz program. So that was nice. I had an outlet there to be able to learn more music and actually be able to perform it in front of folks. In the meantime, not involved in school, I toured around with some Southern gospel stuff. I met some friends that were great musicians that showed me a lot of things. My best friend Eric Curtis was just eat up with talent. He had the ability to play the drums like no one I'd seen, and he could play the bass and sing and guitar and everything. So I was around musicians pretty early on. Well, I worked really hard in school, and I got me a scholarship to the University of Southern Mississippi, and I studied the music industry there. That's where I really kind of got started. So at the University of Southern Mississippi, I studied the music industry, and I just figured out it wasn't quite for me at the time. I was really into the Nashville thing, and I wanted to learn to become a studio guitar player, and I just decided to go a different route. In the meantime, I went in the Marine Corps, dropped music for a little while, and then when I came back to it, I was able to go out on the road and tour, and was nominated for a Grammy while out on the road. So I really got a chance to enjoy some good time out there, play some great venues, and pick up more and more education in music and in the guitar. So all that happened, and I moved up here to Tennessee and Chattanooga, and before you know it, I was playing for an MCA recording artist, Keith Harling, and again, got lined up with some great musicians who've taught me a lot along the way. And that's one thing I want to point out. Part of my job as an instructor is to make sure that I put you in a position to meet other musicians and get out there and play and communicate and to feel that kind of camaraderie, because you will grow in that. Now, I've been the guitarist for Silverdale Baptist Church for the last 7 years. That's been another great growing experience. So here I am, almost 40 years old at the time of this video, and I'm still learning, and I will continue to be learning the rest of my life. There are so many great things I still want to learn with guitar and with music, and I'm striving to get better. And so that's the attitude that I bring to the teaching table. And all right, so let's recap here. Brewer's guitar instruction. We're in Ottawa, Tennessee. Best way to get in contact with me is just call me, 423-760-7581. Check us out on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, and we also have a YouTube page, and I'm always posting different guitar riffs and different theories and things like that, and sometimes jamming out on there a little bit. So make sure you check into that, whether you're a student with us or not. So recapping here, we have beginner students who've never played anything. The very first thing they're doing is learning the open first string, F on the first fret, and G on the third fret. And they don't know anything else about the guitar. And we take them to be able to understand all the notes that are in that first position, as well as the cowboy chords, going through them right now, which are all the open chords in the first position. So in your first 6 months, you're going to start learning all that kind of stuff, as well as learning songs. Then we start working with a little bit more of the intermediate guitar player, okay? Maybe they've been taken for a little while. They can jam some, okay? They're working more on technique and learning different styles. So we definitely welcome those musicians, and we can take them to the next level. I don't want to teach anything that is not going to be useful out there in the real world. The things I teach are the things that I use in the recording studio every week, which, remember, pays me money, puts food on my table, right? So if that's where you want to go with your music, then this is the kind of place, environment that you want to be learning. You want to come on in and let's set a goal, and let's make sure that you can communicate, because really that's what music is all about. It's nothing more than a communication, okay? And there's plenty of great players out there who just can't communicate well because they've never really sat down to learn that. So if that describes you, then we welcome you. Come on in here and let's talk about it a little bit. And then also we work with professional musicians. We even work with songwriters, okay? That is one of my favorite things to do. I have several songwriters that come to me, and they say, hey, I've got these lyrics, I got the verse, the chorus, the bridge, but I'm just not sure what chords to stick to it, you know? And so they start learning, you know, major 7 chords and things like that, and, you know, more suspended chords, like suspended 4s, suspended 2s, things like that, to make their writing that much more interesting, okay? So if you're a songwriter out there and you really want to take your writing to the next level, come on in. I can start here, and let me tell you where this process winds up. There is a studio here in town called Sound Resources. I've done my recordings there. I have several of my students that's done their recordings there as well, and I'm telling you what, these guys do a fantastic job. So if you've got original music that is you want to see it become a demo, then this is a great place to start. Then we go over and meet with the guys at Sound Resources. We discuss things, and before you know it, you got some great music that you can share with your friends, your family, your fans, whatever level you're on. Okay? So recap once again, from the beginner level all the way to the professional level, and help with recording. That's what we do. That's what I do. So think this over. If it looks like it's something you want to dive into, give me a shout and let's talk about it. We'll go a little bit further and see if it can actually become a dream come true for you and become part of your reality. So thanks for watching this video and checking out our guitar lessons. Love to have you here. God bless.